Well, me and Caleb are brothers,
Yes.
and we started playing music together when we were wee lads, and we kind of grew up in a musical family. We did the typical like high school band thing, played a lot of Battle of the Bands, and
Swore off Battle of
won
the
all of
Bands.
them. No, I'm just kidding.
We didn't win any of them.
And then we kept playing music, and what?
We kept playing music, and we met Scott through my cousin, who he worked with at the time, and he shamelessly plugged Scott as a guitar player. And then Scott had a mutual friend with Park. They grew up in the same city of Knoxville, Tennessee. Never met each other, but always knew of each other. And we met Park because he opened a show for us. And I suppose about a year or two later, he came back out on the road filling in for someone. And when he filled in, we were like, he's really good. And then this past summer, we bit the bullet and said, okay, fine, you can be in the band. We always say songwriting's kind of like fishing. Being from Tennessee, we know something about fishing. It just sometimes takes something different to make the fish bite. Sometimes it's a worm, sometimes it's a cricket.
Wow.
And
That's true.
sometimes it's neither.
And breadcrumb, man.
That's right. Anyways, that's kind of the way that songwriting works for us. It's not like always the same. It's always something a little different. And as far as writing and recording Only the Lonely, we approached it much more, I think, holistically. Like, we wanted to make sure that the personality of the band was captured in the recordings and in the writing, as opposed to the first album, which kind of became alive in the studio. We created a lot of it in the studio. Only the Lonely kind of was created before we brought it into the studio. And so when we recorded it, we all got in a room and we played the parts kind of all together. And if we weren't all together, we limited like how many takes we were gonna have on it, just to make it feel like real. So it's still a studio album. It's still refined and polished in certain places, but it's, as opposed to the first album, a lot more unpolished.
And we'll be back before you know.
Only the Lonely, to us, it added like this element of community to it, and it's like it brings in more people. Only the Lonely, like, we kind of have been saying like this album is for Only the Lonely. That's kind of cheesy, but everyone, it's like a common thread. Like, everyone feels those moments of like, am I alone in this? Whether it's a feeling, a relationship, like a big life question you're asking yourself, and that to me ties us all together.